Aloha, everybody. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap Let Light Unite show on UPRN Radio. And this is May 3rd, 2019. I don't know if you guys know, but tomorrow is the full moon. So if you're feeling emotional a little bit and thinking about other people that you wouldn't normally thinking about, it's because they are thinking about you and your energy ping-ponging off of them. Now, because it's a full moon tomorrow, I mean, I want to talk about a little bit later on about psychic attacks and reptilians and how to recognize reptilians and how to put them all in positions of harmlessness, working with the violet flame. And I also want to do some energy work. Now, the reptilians, to me, they're the beings, I will call them that. Mostly they're in charge of the planet, and to me they're satanic. Now, when they got here, we gave them permission to come into our lives. So what we're going to do is some energy work in a few minutes and negate all that energy. Oh, I am echoing. All right, and before we do that, just for grins and giggles, I thought we'd talk a little bit about Russia and maybe boycotting them. Now, if you don't know what to boycott about Russia, I've got a few things for you, and believe me, it wasn't very easy finding things to boycott. Other than all of Trump's properties, how's that? Anything that's got Trump label on it, boycott. Boycott their hotels, blah, blah, blah. Now, that's the easy one to boycott. Let me give you a few others. Now, if you've ever heard of Luke Oil, Lukoil, now energy has overwhelming become Russia's #1 export since the fall of the Soviet Union. Last year, American alone bought nearly $20 billion of Putin's oil, 10 times as much as our next biggest Russian import, which is iron and steel. In many real senses, Russia has become a petrostate, and Lukoil is the country's second biggest producer. Now, while crude oil is a global market, meaning that buying less from a company in Chicago doesn't matter because they'll just sell that barrel in Mumbai. Lukoil doesn't just sell crude oil and gasoline. They also have bottles on the motor oil and lubricant shelves, products that will stagnate if no one buys them. The next time your motor starts knucking, feel free to reach for something else. And then there's Aeroflot. Now, Aeroflot is the largest carrier in Russia and flies across most of the world. While it's hard, if possible at all, to find flights within the United States on the wings of Moscow, readers flying international can start planning their trips around the Russian fleet. This won't be a huge loss for international travelers since Aeroflot provides mediocre services and gets general middling reviews anyway. Now, the website airlineequality.com rates this fleet at 3 stars out of 5. Not terrible, but nothing to write home about either. The world has much better airlines, and Russia's annexation of Crimea just gives us one more reason to avoid them, and interfering on our elections, that's a huge reason. Oh, all right, so you beer drinkers out there, you can do less and stop drinking the Baltica beers. Now, 2 years ago, the Carlsberg Group, a Danish brewing company, one of the largest beer makers in the world, bought out the Moscow-based Baltica brewery. So technically, Baltica now belongs to the Danes. However, it remains a distinctly Russian brand brewed in and imported from Russia. Baltica makes a general, decent, if unremarkable, lager that's available in the United States. In fact, showing how thoroughly the brand has assimilated to our beer culture. The company's store locator page features a come hither blonde in a wet, loosely buttoned shirt. For the time being, however, Miss Moscow might have to be disappointed. It's probably time to look farther down the tap. Now, there's anyone with a smartphone has probably seen Zepto Labs' tracing game and its colorful little mascot, Ohm Gnome. It became a huge hit on both the iPhone and Android and spawned several sequels, which have all done relatively well. Now, Zepto Labs is an entertainment company that was started and remains headquarters, guess where? Right, Russia. Although they now have offices in the United Kingdom, gamers who want to send their dollars elsewhere might want to leave those ropes alone, at least for the time being. And then there's Stolichnaya. We all knew this one was coming. Stoli was perhaps the single most iconic Russian brand out there. Every time a person ordered one, I feel like I have ridden to a bar on the back of a grizzly while wearing an oversized hat and playing with the little nesting dolls, none of which would be a bad thing. The Facebook photos from that night would be epic. For the modern company, pointing to a specific place of origin is a little bit of a mess, as Stolichnaya complained during last year's backlash against Russia's anti-gay laws. The company has spread its corporate structure all over the place. This most Russian of brands gets its water from Latvia, its bottles from Poland, and its caps from Italy. The key ingredient, though, the alcohol itself, that comes from Tambov, Russia. Oh, let's not leave out Morgan Stanley. Now, this one hits a little closer to home. In recent days, Morgan Stanley has announced that sanctions against Russia won't stop a deal it made for Rosneft, Russia's state-run oil company, to buy its oil group. According to Bloomberg, the American firm will sell off its global oil merchant unit to Rosneft, and approximately 100 executives will move along with it. While ordinarily transactions like this happen behind the scenes, sometimes something feels inherently dirty about an American firm doing major business with the Russian state petroleum arm while that country hoists its flag over Crimea. It's one thing to conduct business as usual with the citizens of a country who couldn't turn the ship of a state if they wanted to, but Rosneft is, for all intents and purposes, a branch of the Russian government. You know, for good taste, if nothing else, Morgan Stanley could have waited. Moving money and assets elsewhere would definitely be a sign of disapproval. And then we've got Russian entertainment. What, you say? Entertainment besides dancing bears? Well, the Russian entertainment has proliferated over the last decade as companies can increasingly reach out to global customers through the internet. Several popular computer games and movies have their roots back in Moscow. The games Battle Mages and Farm Frenzy, a shameless knockoff of a shameless knockoff, come from Russian studios Targem Games and Alaware Entertainment, respectively. Moscow-based IC publishers a wide variety of games, including the Men of War and King's Bounty series. Moviegoers may have heard of the Day Watch and Night Watch films, both produced by Channel One Russia and based on a popular series of books from a local author. You can skip all of these if you want to, although once this crisis is over, I do recommend taking a look at what IC has to offer. And then we have the capital markets. Hey, this is for everybody. You know, if you're going to boycott something, it doesn't matter what money level you're at. You can pick one of these, right? According to its website, Alforma Capital Market is an affiliate of Alpha Bank's international equities business. Alpha, in turn, is one of the largest commercial banks in Russia, with an investment branch in America and a significant presence in Europe. It should also not be confused with the Greek Alpha Bank, an entirely separate institution. Although the day-to-day consumer probably won't come across Alforma, anyone making decisions with their company's money might want to remember where this firm comes from and where they send the money. Hey, then you got Russia Today, owned and operated by the Russian government. This news network has been generally outed as a propaganda operation. Questionable even under the best of circumstances. These days it's probably best to just switch back to anybody other than Fox. All right, what else can we boycott? Russian mob? Okay. You find they run any casinos? Don't go to that casino. 11 prostitutes? Oh God, I am so sorry, guys. Guilt by country. And, maybe we just skip that one because, these are just some ladies that are going to work trying to earn a living, I hope. And then, of course, we're back to the number one. Boycott Trump and all of Trump's enterprises. Start at the hotel and work your way down, including the MAGA hats. Oh my God. All right, so that is enough of the Russian brands to boycott. If you can think of anything else, then write to me, guys. You can write to me on my Facebook page or UPRN Radio. I'm sure my producer will let me know if I get a letter and any information. And I'll contact you, give you the answer. Actually, I would love to have more instances that's Russian that we can boycott. So bring it on. All right, so we're going to do some energy work, and then I'm going to talk later on about psychic attacks and what they are, how to protect them, and reptilians. And again, because tomorrow's the full moon, and we've got this really big energy going that's stronger than normal during the month. Let's do some energy work. So this is going to be very simple. Put your feet flat on the floor. Sit up straight and start taking some gentle, deep breaths. Inhale light and exhale out everything that no longer serves you. And imagine all that unwanted energy going through the violet flame back to God. And you fill up with more of your divine essence. So do that until I tell you to stop. As you're doing that, I surround you in a bubble of golden flame. I add to that the blue flame of protection, the violet flame of transmutation, the green flame of healing, and I seal you in the pink flame of love. And I call all your teachers, guides, masters, angels, and all the divine beings, and we invite them in to make this energy work as gentle, loving, kind, and as profound as we can, and amplify our work. So I just want you to imagine we're in this big stadium. We got a big crystal in the center that's huge, like 100-ton, and we're going to create a bubble of light and put in this energy work. And we're going to declare human enlightenment and freedom, and that the Anunnaki reptilian rule is over. I want you to imagine in the center, this energy we're putting into it, all the reptilians, anything connected with them, and allow this divine energy just to flow out your arms, out your hands, into the center, out your chakras. And don't hyperventilate on me. And if you can do some creative visualization while we're doing this, this would be awesome. So let there be light in the name of the presence of God, which I am, through the magnetic power, the sacred fire vested in me, I command. Anunnaki reptilians, you no longer have permission to misuse humans, past, present, future, includes the stealing, killing, making slaves of us, our children, nor any other human life form unjustly, imprisoning us for crimes we did not commit, drinking human blood, eating human flesh, or feeding off of human energy. You no longer have permission to mass manipulate humankind through colonization, nor through any means, including simple deceptions, nanotech, chemtrails, fluoride scalar, harp, sound, vibration, drugs, religion, money, debt, chaos, and war. We cut all ties, binds, oaths, vows, curses, including all magic that manipulating Anunnaki reptilians have between humans that are keeping us enslaved. As these ties are cut, we call the energy of the violet flame to transmute all dark energy that is holding humanity back from evolving to light. We now see all of humankind being reconnected to the Creator, becoming awakened spiritual beings. That is our true birthright. We now close all interdimensional portals that the Anunnaki reptilians enter our world from, including any portals that open from any satanic Babylonian ritual, from the CERN or the harp. As we close and seal these portals, we make them invisible so they no longer can be used, as well as cutting ties and neutralizing all satanic symbols that open gates for demons to enter. We ask the Creator that if it's for the highest good of the earth and all life forms, that the Creator steps in, neutralizing the single white chromosome that is added to the reptilians' DNA that make the reptilians more aggressive and warlike. We see it being replaced with a chromosome that makes them kinder and compassionate, compelling them to speak only truth. This also lets the Anunnaki now be released from all addiction they have to the dense physical world and the sensation it offers. Let this release be done now. It's for the highest good of the planet. We ask the Creator to raise the energies and frequency vibration fields that are affecting all inner space plans that are between dimensions that the Anunnaki reptilians exist in. We send the violet flame through these areas to transmute all lower vibration frequencies back to light, as well as clearing out all addiction energies being held in those spaces that are feeding the Anunnaki reptilians. As this is done, the earth begins to raise the vibrations back to light, freeing the planet of the lower vibrational pull. We also cut ties to real energy between humans and the Anunnaki reptilians that allows shape-shifting and interdimensional travel. Cancel clear all psycho drugs that are suppressing our intelligence. Along with vaccines, may it turn to plain water. Cut all ties and cancel clear all reptilian DNA energies activated by the vibrational frequencies created by the Illuminati satanic secret society rituals that activate demon possession by the Anunnaki reptilians, especially in those that have the reptilian bloodline. We cut ties to the moon along with the energy it emits that affect our emotions, creating a vibrational field that keeps us from evolving into a higher consciousness. Now let's anchor the violet flame inside the moon to transmute all out of balance energy back to light. Then we reconnect every cell, atom, molecule in the moon back to the Creator, commanding all out of balance energies to become neutral or only emit love. We place high-powered magnets to all the equipment inside the moon and see space dust invading the equipment, causing it to break down. We call to the Galactic Federation, or whoever is in charge of our galaxy, asking that you now take control of the moon and removing any manipulating aliens that are hurting humans and Earth, that is keeping us from quantum leaping into divine enlightenment. Any contracts we may have with these aliens are now null and void, past, present, and future. If it's for the highest good of the planet, we ask the Creator to raise the energies and frequency vibration fields that are affecting all inner space planes that are between dimensions that the Anunnaki reptilians exist in. We send the violet flame through these areas to transmute all lower vibration frequencies back to light, as well as clearing out all addiction energies being held in those spaces that are feeding the Anunnaki reptilians. Let's now cancel clear all dark work done on any vortex or portals. As this is done, the earth begins to raise the vibration back to light, freeing the planet of the lower vibrational pull. Let's cut ties to the cycle of reincarnation between the astral illusion and the physical illusion and back again. If it's for humanity's highest good, let us be filled with freedom of thought and expression that allows us to express different views as we break free from the reptilian Anunnaki B mentality. We release all fear, guilt, and need for approval that manipulates humanity to suppressing itself. Cancel, clear, cancel, clear, cancel, clear. Cut ties to all unconscious gatekeepers to the matrix, including our parents, family, and scientists who try to limit our uniqueness and suppress who we really are. We ask the Creator to neutralize all patches on scientists that are making them do things against their will, setting them free. We are now cutting ties to remove all blueprint overlays that suppress our souls. As these overlays are removed, we are now open to multidimensional existence. This also allows us to balance our male-female energies that also allow us to create a third force of divine potential. We reactivate the hormone in our brain that allows us to become more telepathic and spiritual beings. We cancel clear all Illuminati Secret Society rituals that are activating the reptilian DNA in humans. Instead, we see these rituals being reversed and now empowering humans, helping everyone reconnect to source. Love can and is changing our genetic coding, reconnecting us to the Creator to become awakened spiritual beings that have unlimited potential. We ask the Creator to step in, and if it's for humanity's highest good, that all ties to the Anunnaki Nordic races are now cut forever. As these ties are cut, we see the change in hybrids, releasing the beehive mentality, allowing them to become an individual who has memories now of individual choices, family bonding, and freedom. We see all of humanity being reconnected to the Creator, resulting in all reverse thoughts being removed from our DNA. As humanity reconnects to the Creator, we become awakened spiritual beings that are unlimited with all kinds of new positive possibilities running through our hearts and minds. Now let's cut the ties that the Anunnaki have for gold. We call to the Mother Earth to now take back all energies of gold as well as all other metals that have been taken from her. We now tap into the entire energy vortexes that were used. Take all this material off the planet, commanding these vortexes to gently reverse themselves, pulling all this energy back to Earth. This includes all gold that was taken to other galaxies and misused. We see the Mother Earth pulling back all this gold energy that was used in any cloaking devices anywhere in the galaxies. We ask the Mother Earth to pull back all the gold energy that is in jewelry form on Earth or anywhere in the galaxies from those misusing it. As this energy is returned to Mother Earth, she goes back into divine balance. As soon as the energy of all the metals is returned to the Earth, all the vortexes go back to their natural correct spin, and those portals are closed. We command Michael and your band of angels to cut all ties to all Anunnaki satanic symbols, including the obelisk, dome, eye, triangle, pyramid, five-pointed star, black and white checkerboard, squares, Nazi swastika, masquerade, Illuminati balls, including people wearing the costume masks, black hats, the all-seeing eye, as well as subliminal messages that show one eye being covered, shape of a pyramid, the sun, owl, a rainbow, Baphomet, and the sign of the 666. Peace sign next to the eye, including the devil's horn sign. Violet flame, the energy to neutralize and transmute all subliminal symbols and signs back to light. Now we're going to cut ties to all the words on the Georgia Guidestones. And now cut ties to all the music, creating spells and all demons attached, tying and binding the demons and send them back to the Creator, filling that space up with an angel of peace. Cancel clear all thoughts that the Anunnaki, Illuminati, Satan have with their destiny to rule. We revoke all rights of Moravian Roving, oh God, Rovingian, bloodline to rule. Can't say that one fast, can I? Called to Michael the Archangel to take his sword of blue flame and cut ties to all satanic Anunnaki magic around all life forms, organic, inorganic, including movie stars, all singers and illusion makers, the music, TV, movie, cable, radio, communication fields, industries, politicians, leaders, religious leaders, military personnel of all ranks, and all decision makers, plants and animals worldwide. Anyone who will sacrifice their spiritual values for power, knowledge, or material gain, which is also called a Fautesian pact. This includes all skin this magic is written on, no matter where Satan keeps it hidden, all ties to all satanic black magic and pacts that were made with Satan, and see that they're cut. We call the violet flame to clean that dark energy, and then we send the angel light energy to heal it and fill it up with the Creator's divine love. We command the skin and parchments to now be neutral, only emit love. I call upon the fire elemental to blaze and burn in all the vaults of Satan and reptilians. Everywhere these skins and parchments of magic are kept. Let the flame do the final cleansing. I now see all satanic vaults, ethereal or in physical, in flames and burning all skins and parchments. That contracts are written on. See them in ashes. I don't know. Can we say maybe, I don't know, Notre Dame? All trusts are hereby dissolved through the sacred trust that God has with humans to set us free. All declarations spoken of in 1966 that declared the beginning age of Satan is now canceled, cleared. We now declare the age of divine enlightenment to be set into action. We also cancel clear all references to Lucifer rising and tie and bind anyone who takes on that title on earth while in physical form. We cut all black magic, satanic ties, and binds Satan has placed on all life form souls of planet earth, going back to the time when Satan was cast out of heaven, through this present time and future in our planet. Ties and binds this energy, and all souls are not cut free from your bondage. Satan, Anunnaki, owns no one. The people of this planet all have their very own direct link to God, the Creator, thus in charge of all dominion on the planet. You do not own the world, humans, nor any souls on this planet or anywhere. We can manage our own sacred trusts with the Creator ourselves. Satan, Anunnaki, reptilians, you're fired. We now reconnect all these souls to the Creator, helping them become awakened, conscious, spiritual beings. We cut the ties to all of Satan, Anunnaki trusts, and Satan's trust he set up, claiming all real estate as his, then binding that in magic. We call the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal, then we reconnect it to God. Now we command it to be neutral, to only emit love. We call forth the fire elemental to burn this magic and all it is written on to ashes. This trust is hereby dissolved by the light of God, the Creator, and everything that is holy. We now cut ties to Anunnaki, Satan, and all trusts that makes people slaves. We again cut the ties to this magic and the bonding of it with the Anunnaki, Satan. We call the violet flame through it to clean up the energy, angel light to heal it. Then we reconnect it to the Creator, commanding it to be neutral. We again call to the fire elemental to blaze through this magic till it's cleansed by the fire to ashes and dust. I see the storage vaults, physical or etheric, and physical flame now. Name, maybe? We now see all the veils and overlays over all souls being removed, allowing everyone to reconnect to their higher selves, becoming awakened spiritual beings, fully aware of their divine missions and divine purposes. We cut all ties with the trust called Sesquiquivi, claiming all souls to Anunnaki, Satan, and the Catholic Church. As these ties are cut, we call the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal, fill it up with Creator's love. Now we command it to be neutral, to only emit love. I call the fire elemental to burn the skin it's written on till in ashes. See all the souls being set free again, becoming awakened spiritual beings. Now we cut all ties and magical contracts the Anunnaki Satan had with the Roman Vatican Church Empire and with Hitler. All concordats are now dissolved by the violet flame, healed in angel light, and reconnected to the Creator, now becoming neutral or only emitting love. Energy of the first through the fourth Reich is now dissolved. All the higher selves of all beings worshiping Anunnaki Satan, past, present, and future, step forward in the light of God, renounce Satan, all lies, deceptions, chaos, and wars you create. And if you choose not to, which is your free will, we call your higher self and the guardian angels to put you all in positions of harmlessness now. We remove all veils and overlays you have placed on each other, cut the oaths you have taken together, binding you to each other, and your projects now removed. For those who choose to stay with Satan, again, your free will, place you all in a bubble of mirror. The mirror faces you. So any dark energy you try and send out will stay contained, and we add the violet flame. Cleanse this energy so it will not gain any strength. This bubble of mirror will stay up 24/7, 365 days a year. From here through eternity, it will dissolve when you choose to work in the light of the Creator and not Satan. Until then, this bubble keeps you powerless. You see humanity and all life forms becoming awakened spiritual beings with unlimited potential, breaking free of the energy of slave and money. We ask the Creator that if it's for our highest good to help us disconnect from the reptilian part of our brain, activating God brain. And as people awaken, they thirst for esoteric knowledge of light. As humans awaken, we see them stop generating the emotional energy the Anunnaki reptilians demand, instead sending out high love vibrations. We imagine a change in the Earth's frequencies that was manufactured to shut off part of our DNA's multidimensional potential, to be reversed, to activate our divine DNA instead. As this is done, the planet and all life forms shift into divine enlightenment. As the veils are removed, I'll refuse microchipping. We ask the Creator to give special grace and set free all souls that have signed their souls over to Satan and the reptilians for fame, money, and power, as well as the ones who have had their souls consumed by a demon after death, willingly or unwilling. As they are released, we send their souls through the violet flame, transmute their energy back to light, then send them back to the heart of God. We ask the demons and satanic reptilians to stop doing this practice. If you choose not to, which is your free will, we ask your higher self to put you in positions of harmlessness now. As this is done, the planet and all life forms quantum leap into the golden age of divine enlightenment. So let's fill this up with lots of light and love. Nevertheless, not our will, but thy will be done. Take a deep breath and release it. Whew. I give thanks for this opportunity to serve. Wow, I know that was a long one, but you have to admit it was pretty powerful, right? Thanks. So, what about reptilians? Now, to me, reptilians are pretty satanic, and I have seen two people in my lifetime shapeshift. One from human to reptilian, and then back to human, and back to reptilian, and back to human. And when I saw this, honest to God, I was not high. I was totally straight. And I was with a group of people in Pennsylvania. And it was like the 4th of July. There was this big gathering. This guy was giving a lecture. And he was shape-shifting from reptilian to human. And oh my God, all I could think of is, I'm not coming to any more of your lectures. Thank you very much. And after we got back to camp, and I asked everybody that was there, did you see this guy shift? And, a few other people did. Now, what are you going to do with that information other than go, oh, that's nice, and I'm not going on any more hikes with him or lectures, and shelve the information? And then another time, it was years later, this group of people was really working with the satanic book. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it conjures up demons. You don't know what you're saying. And we were at this guy's house that was actually doing this. And while we were speaking, he literally shapeshifted from a demon to a human. It was really, really spooky. And all I could do is look at my other friend that came with me, and I said, time to go. And we left. And it was another one of those, wow, that was really freaky. I'm going to shelve that one too. Keep it in mind that it's real, which it is. Now, have you ever been in a room where it's been really warm, that all of a sudden the temperature drops and gets very, very cold? Okay, well, this is my interpretation that there's a shapeshifter reptilian that has come in on a different dimension, and they're sucking your life force from you. And not only doing that, but they're spying on you. So when I feel that, and I really don't feel that much anymore, and this is why, I call to Michael the Archangel and say, Michael, there's somebody that has kind of snuck in and attached itself to me or anything else in this room or house. I want you to take your sword of blue flame, cut the ties, we're going to tie and bind this reptilian, send it through the violet flame to clean its energies up right back to God, and replace that with an angel of protection, an angel of healing, whatever, but don't ever leave an empty space. Now, when I first learned to do this, I would get this finger that would kind of poke me in the shoulder. It's like they're saying, hey, I'm here. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because I'm here with you. Ooh, where'd that one come from? So I would do that, and then I would get rid of them, right? And maybe a couple days later, I'd get this finger, and it's like poking me. And it's like, dude, didn't I just send you back to God? What is going on? Then I got together with a friend of mine, and she went, duh, don't you know you're doing service work? And I went, says, yeah, they're coming to you now because they know you can release them back to God. And I went, oh, great. Okay, all right. Service work. And after I understood that and really became more conscious of what I was doing, well, after a while, they just stopped coming by on that way. So you've got reptilians, and then you got people that do black magic, that dark arts. Which reptilians do that? They do satanic work. So it's kind of all, it's intertwined. And, people ask me, how do I know if I'm cursed? It's like, are you alive? Are you breathing? Now, I can get cursed for being white on the island in Hawaii because white people are low man on the totem pole here. And the Hawaiians are a little pissed because, America just came in and kind of sucked up their country and made them a state, and they really didn't want it. So, Hawaii is really a country of its own that's occupied by the United States, and they're a little pissy at Americans that are white. All right, so yeah, I can get a curse like that. And for everything I do, I have to assume I'm under a curse 24/7. Okay, and I act accordingly. That's why I do the curse removal so much, not only for myself, but for other people. And part of magic is people that are doing the magic don't want you to know what they're doing. Kind of like an energy overlay that you can't see through. And if you don't know you've got magic done, how are you going to counter it? Why would you even think it? Why? Because I'm in your life and I'm sharing it with you. And these people go after everything. They go after your health, your relationship, your kids, your animals, your home, your job. They don't care. They're not proud. Now, when I married my ex-husband, he came with baggage, and his eldest son, who was in his 30s, practiced black magic and really tried to kill us throughout our whole 14 years of marriage. I had to actually banish him from the property. One day, we had all kinds of birds and dogs, and oh my God, it was like a little mini farm. And we had 5 doves in a cage, and I walked by, and everybody was all chirpy and happy. And about 5 minutes later, I walked by the other way, and they were all dead. And if you look at it, there was one bird for each one of the member in the family. And personally, I bless those little birds. And I figure, it's better the bird than any one of my family. And I would know people were doing dark magic because we had a rooster, and every full moon, if somebody was doing magic, he would end up hanging upside down. And I would save them, but it's like, God, you guys really suck at what you do. Thank God. So I'm gonna share with you a little bit on working with divine energy and some suggestions on how to remove reptilian energy from your auric fields and how to recognize and short circuit reptilians. And we did a big power prayer. And we'll go into more about psychic attacks. And, what I don't get to tonight, I will continue doing next week because it's really important that you have this knowledge. So, when you're working with reptilians, one thing you want to really think about is you want to work with divine energy. And the best way to mess with reptilian energy is to stay in really high vibration. The higher vibration you are, it's like an armor. And you're the higher vibration, usually your karma is pretty good. So, if somebody sends a psychic attack out at you, instead of falling and breaking your leg, you might fall, but have a bruise instead. Now, the reptilians feed off the lower vibration that we create, like anger, hurt, shock, depression, jealousy, war, chaos, chaotic precedent. Now, they're energy vampires, literally feeding off of humans. Not only do they suck our energy when we're at our worst, which is a negative vibration, but they also drink our blood and eat human flesh to be able to stay in their veiled human forms. I know if that doesn't sound gross, it sounded gross to me as I read it. Drink time, water. Whoa. Well, they create wars to feed off that dark energy as well as steal our children for their life force. And we're talking about the lowest of life forms in the universe that refuse to shift. And they're also called the reptilians, the pirates of the universe. Now, they can't stand positive energy and vibration, which is the love energy. This is one energy they don't want. So you can raise your energy through chanting, praying, sing songs of devotion, or work with the transmuting energy of the violet flame. Whatever works for you. See your family in a higher vibration. You want to anchor light in every room of your house and business. And, while you're at it, anchor light anywhere where there's chaos and war on the planet. And maybe, the lighthouse of the Pentagon. Send a healing energy through your male-female DNA, amplifying the positive aspects. And see this affecting all family members, including all ancestors, going backwards and forwards through all your incarnations. Ooh, excuse me. I burp up energy. I'm not drinking beer, if you heard me. So, stay connected to Source and call the higher selves of all family members, asking that they all be reconnected to the Creator, to Source. And it just takes a little effort on your part. I mean, really, how easy can it get? Now, I mentioned about working with the violet flame, violet. Now, what is that, you ask? Well, the violet flame is a purple flame, and it comes from the very center of your chest. And when we were beings in Atlantis, our violet flame was huge, huge bubble. Huge, 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 huge. And then as we started misusing our spiritual gifts, God kept shrinking it and shrinking it and shrinking it till it's a little tiny flame inside the middle of our chest. And when you invoke it, it erases cause, effect, record, memory of karma. It transmutes dark to light. It raises energy. It helps clear out entities, and it transmutes your karma, past, present, future. And, as you have heard me over the show, I called it the violet flame a lot to transmute energy. And when I need, it's not a big deal. You don't have to sit down and make a big deal out of it. And you want to call forth the violet flame, you can just imagine the violet flame around you. But I also like to do audio. So I'll also say, I am a being, a violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being, a violet fire. I am the purity God desires. And you keep saying that over and over and over, and it's going to call forth the violet flame, amplify it, raise your energies. Now, when the kids were little, and if I would wake up in the morning and I would be around them, I was like what I would call Miss Bitch, and they hadn't done anything to deserve it. I would have to step back and go, wow, why am I like this this morning? They haven't done anything to deserve the wrath of Bilsky, right? So I have to step back and I go, God, I don't know if the weight of the world is so heavy and so dark and negative, and it's also trying to pull me down into that goo, or under psychic attack. And you know what? It doesn't matter. I got to break it. So if I could, I would go away. Well, literally, maybe go for a drive and leave the kids with my husband, not just abandon them there. And I would do energy work and call the violet flame. I am the being of violet fire. I am the purity God desire, over and over and over until I felt that energy lift and that darkness lift. And then I could go back and be with my kids, and I would find that we're nice to each other. So it transmuted all that energy. And if you are really having drug addiction, there's a book called The Science of the Spoken Word by Mark Prophet, and it's got invocations to the violet flame. And the first time I'd done this, oh my God, lifetimes ago, I was smoking pot really, really heavy, and I was brain dead. I couldn't think. I couldn't really put together a complete sentence, and memory was shot to hell. And I came across this little blurb, and from Mark Prophet, it says if you do energy work on the violet flame, it will transmute you, clean up your energies, your cells, atoms, molecules. It will get you off your addiction. And I went, damn, I'm there. And I'm a show me kind of girl. I'll put the effort in, and let's see if there's, if I can see a difference in my life because of the effort, well, then I'll share it with others. So I read the book, and as I read the book, I had a separate book set aside. And when I would find a decree that meant something to me, I would write it down in this other book. So I ended up with about 15 decrees. Now you're supposed to say each one 3 times, okay? And use the power of the spoken word. So I committed to doing it 15, 20 minutes in the morning, because that's all it took, when I got up, and then I would do it before I went to bed. And then that weekend, they also says in the book, if you can do each decree 33 times, that is like the ultimate woo-woo, bells and whistles, right? So I figured, what the heck, I'll give it a go. So I went out to my backyard, and I lived in the country, not a lot of houses around. And I took a jar of 33 pennies because I'm not losing count. And I did each one 33 times. At the end of that weekend, I was totally clean. I was off the addiction. My mind was very sharp. I knew where I was going. It was awesome. And I changed so quickly that my friends didn't recognize me, and I had to pull back from them until they did. And it didn't take that long. But I was in a delicate space. I didn't want anybody to ruin what I accomplished. So the violet flame is very, very profound, very strong. Like I said, it's one of the highest vibrations that there is to work with and to use. So don't be afraid to invoke it and call it forth. Whether you want to do it for your kids, the family members that are really having a difficult time, and you want to transmute that darkness that's around them, do it. Practice it. So next week we'll talk more about reptilians and how to short circuit reptilians and recognize them, and more on about psychic attacks and how to protect yourself. It's time. We're in this crazy, crazy time where I believe that people that are satanic that are really in control of the planet. And if you really look around, you see their symbols everywhere. From down in the Capitol in Oklahoma, they've got the statue of Baphomet, which is satanic. You see the movie star